Chapter 11. The First Tycoon. The laughter rose, and those around turned to look. Those eyes scanned the girl without restraint, harboring ill intentions. The girl didn't give them a single glance, her expression indifferent. She collected the ancient coin and prepared to leave. Behind her, though, the mocking laughter persisted relentlessly. "Look, I said to give the kid a break, and now you've driven her away." What IFSC? She runs back and cries to the adults. "I'm doing this for her own good. This will toughen her up." It seemed she also. The words were cut off by a voice that sounded somewhat urgent. "Miss, my master would like to offer 6 million to buy that half-tail silver coin you have. May I ask if you're willing to part with it?" The young man's smile froze on his face, utterly disbelieving what he'd heard. What? 6 million for a coin that can be found everywhere? What sort of joke is this? The other onlookers, there for the spectacle, were also confused and took a while to recover. Ying Zijin raised her eyebrows slightly and turned to look in the direction of the voice. It was an elderly man in a tang suit, his hair and beard silvery, his stride steady and powerful, his aura undiminished. The one who had spoken first was a young man following the elderly man. He approached and said, negotiating, "If the price isn't enough, we can add more." With one sentence, the crowd was abuzz. What kind of coin is it that 6 million isn't enough? I thought I heard it was a Qin half-tail silver coin. That can't be right. IFID is indeed a Qin half-tail silver coin. Then it really is worth that price. A few years ago, in an international auction, a Qin half-tail silver coin had sold for the high price of 7.6 million. What Qin half-tail silver coin? The young man was fuming with rage. He picked this up by the river. Do you think in half-tail silver coins are as common as cabbages? If it was truly a Qin half-tail silver coin, wouldn't he become a laughingstock? The elderly man stood with his hands behind his back, commanding respect without showing anger. Miu Cheng understood and pulled out a document, a certificate that read clearly in red ink and white paper, National Cultural Relic Appraisal and Evaluation Master. Level 8. The highest level. This certificate silenced all doubts like a resounding slap across the face of the young stall owner. Ying Zijin, however, looked at the certificate thoughtfully. Indeed, the new careers of the 21st century were quite diverse. She nodded. No need. This price is just right. Good. Thank you for parting with it, Miss. Miu Cheng nodded, pulling out a black card. Here's 6 million, internationally recognized. In the top right corner of this black card was a golden fleur-de-lis. Ying Zijin paused, her eyes slightly lifting at the corners. Good. The bank where she used to deposit her gold hadn't gone under. No, I won't sell it. Seeing the black card, how could the young man restrain himself? He rushed forward to grab the ancient coin from the girl's hand, his movements fierce. Give it here. It had been his find. The money should rightfully be his. The girl was expressionless as she simply lifted her right leg. It was a casual motion, seemingly carefree, but it was this kick that sent the young man flying several meters away. Bang! The people around were dumbfounded. Only then did Ying Zijin pass over the ancient coin and accept the black card. Thank you. Miu Cheng was stunned, almost in a state of fantasy. You're welcome. Never mind Miu Cheng. Even the elderly man in the tang suit was somewhat shocked, looking at her with added scrutiny. What surprised the others even more was that the normally reclusive management personnel actually made an appearance, speaking up sternly. The underground market has its own rules. Sold items cannot be taken back. Take this man's permit. He is not to enter the underground market ever again. After that, he turned back to the girl and bowed. I apologize for the fright. Ying Zijin slipped the black card into her pocket. It's fine. 6 million should last for a while. The manager finally breathed a sigh of relief, turned around, and directed their security to take the young stall owner away. Not far away, the bartender who had witnessed the whole scene fell silent for a moment, then sincerely said, "The friend you know seems a bit fierce." Suka, frail-looking young girl, was able to kick such a big man out. What nonsense are you talking about? Fu Yunshan's peach eyes curved. She's clearly both well-behaved and adorable. Bartender, this filter is a bit too strong. Yet he was still puzzled. Why didn't you go yourself? Isn't playing the hero to sift the beauty nice? Insisting on taking the trouble to let the manager do it. Fu Yunshan's eyelashes fluttered slightly. He chuckled lightly. I couldn't go. Bartender was taken aback. Why? Well, Fu Yunshan pondered briefly, smiled. I need to take care of the little friend's feelings. After all, We had just bid each other good night 2 hours ago. Wouldn't it be awkward to meet again at the underground marketplace so soon? Although he had long guessed that Shu would come to the underground market after hearing NHL's words, he had indeed timed it just right. The bartender was rendered speechless. I see that since your return, you've spent all your time on winning the favor of women. Even caring for such a trivial mood, you truly couldn't be more meticulous. He was still wondering why this gentleman went to the trouble of crafting the image of a debauched young master. What are you talking about now? Fu Yunchen lowered his head. Do I need her? The bartender looked at the man's face that could reverse the charms of all. Meanwhile, in an alleyway, Master, IFWE had come earlier. It would have been better. Mu Cheng said. It's a waste of 6 million. Although 6 million was nothing to them, it was always best to save where possible. Not a waste. The elderly man waved his hand, with a hint of a smile on his face. At least it allowed me to see such an interesting young girl. Mu Cheng soon realized what he meant. Are you referring to that kick-off verse just now? Precisely, the elderly man said lightly, and she didn't just luck out on the tangent coin. Mu Cheng hesitated. That's unlikely. He knew that after Mu Heking had stepped down, he had no other hobby but to collect antiques to donate to the national museums. Mu Heking did not elaborate further and coughed a few times. Let's go. Mu Cheng followed up, and just as he was about to ask again, he saw the elderly man clutching his chest, his body suddenly convulsing, and he fell down. Mu Cheng was shocked and hurriedly stepped forward. Master. This was bad. Nobody expected Mu Heking to have an attack at this time, and they hadn't even brought a doctor with them. Mu Heking's body had always been strong, but before he retired, he took a bullet close to his heart. Although he regained consciousness, the incident left a lasting ailment that would cause attacks from time to time. But he had just had surgery recently. It should not have occurred so soon. What to do now? Miss Meng was far away in the capital. It was impossible for her to make it in time. Mu Cheng, sweating profusely with anxiety, trembled as he reached for the medicine, but he couldn't feed it to the old man. As he panicked, a voice came from behind him. Don't lean him back. It'll make his breathing more difficult. Let him lie flat. Mu Cheng looked up in surprise. The girl stood just outside the alley, her legs long and straight. After a few strides, she squatted down, her hand on Mu Heking's pulse, her brows stirring slightly. Mu Cheng finally snapped out of it. Seeing the girl's action, he was both shocked and angry. He fiercely tried to swat her hand away, scolding, "Don't touch him." What status did Mu Heking have? If something went wrong, nobody could bear the responsibility. But his hand didn't come close to hitting her, instead striking the ground. Mu Cheng inhaled sharply, even more furious. What exactly are you trying to do? Ying Zijin was still checking the pulse to save him. Mu Cheng seemed to hear a laughable remark. You're just a young girl. In Hua country, apart from a few in the ancient medical field, who would dare claim they could treat Mu Heking,